Now we're going to look at Module 6.2, Food, Drugs, and Supplements. This module covers a bit about legislation and the different governmental agencies involved in food and drugs, but the one I want to focus on is the Food and Drug Administration itself, how it's involved with regulating drugs and foods, and also what's going on with supplements. Supplements cover a number of different categories, including herbs. I'll also look at something called the Dietary Supplement and Health Education Act, or DSHEA, and we'll look at some examples of what the government is including as supplements. The FDA is the Food and Drug Administration, the government agency that controls most of the food industry and all of the drug marketing in the United States. When we talk about drugs and regulation, you need to know that drugs require a substantial amount of research, and that drug research is regulated by the FDA. Evidence is presented to the FDA by the drug company, and any new drug approval requires research that demonstrates the safety and efficacy of that drug. We're talking about years of double-blind, placebo-controlled research trials, what are called Phase 1 and Phase 2 trials. Let me just say this before I continue. One of the main differences between drugs and supplements is that with supplements, no evidence needs to be presented to the FDA by the supplement industry, and no research demonstrating safety and efficacy must be shown. There, you have my concern. The FDA oversees all foods except for meat, poultry, eggs, and seafood, which are under the purview of other government agencies. Food requires comparatively little research and is loosely regulated. The FDA defines food as, well, food, but also supplements, herbs, enzymes, substances called glandulars, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. These are all considered by the FDA to be food. All nutritional supplements are considered to be food by the FDA, and as such, rigorous testing is not required before these products go to market. The supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar business in America. What they do is look at nutrients. They look at what are the deficiency symptoms associated with those nutrients, and they exploit that information in order to make sales. For example, a symptom associated with iron deficiency is fatigue. You can be fatigued for a number of different reasons, and this semester we've talked about how just because you have a symptom doesn't mean you have a condition. But the supplement industry will be happy to sell you iron for any type of fatigue that you may have. Advertising of supplements may not be ethical, and it may not tell the whole truth. When it comes to buying supplements, let the buyer beware. Consumers need to learn to recognize sales ploys. If you're going to take a supplement, you need to supplement purposefully and knowledgeably. Otherwise, you can get sick. Look for products with certification insignias, such as the ones that I have shown here. If they have these on the label, that means that you can be pretty sure what's on the label is actually in your product. Other things you need to pay attention to are the units of the DRIs, or what I still call the RDAs, and the upper limits. You need to know what the function of the nutrient is in the body, what it's supposed to be doing, and if you're treating deficiencies, then you want to know what those symptoms are. You also need to know what toxicity symptoms might be, because those symptoms are not going to be anywhere on the label or on the side panels of the food supplement. You want to know the stability of the nutrient, and of course, this being a nutrition class, you prefer to get your sources from food. According to the FDA, all herbal preparations are considered food. And while many of the drugs that we have on the market come from herbs and from plants, when you're buying a medication, the amount of active ingredient has been standardized. You know what the minimum amount is, you know what the toxic effects can be. However, with herbs, we don't have that information. And herbs are being used for medicinal purposes. You need to understand in detail what you're putting into your body and what the effects of those substances can be. You want to know the amount of the drug present in the preparation. Even though we're talking about an herb, again, I still consider herbs to be drugs. The difference being that with herbs, you don't know if there's any active ingredient found in that preparation. But what may be in the preparation are contaminants such as lead and arsenic. Sometimes you have minimal amounts of active ingredient present in your supplement. Other times you may have a very high amount of the active ingredient. And what happens then is that you're going to experience an overdose, and that can be dangerous. In 1994, the Dietary Supplement and Health Education Act was passed by the government. The purpose of this legislation was to look at regulating sales, marketing, labeling, safety, and the statements made on nutritional supplements. It also defined a supplements facts panel, similar to what may be found on food labels. This act also had the FDA defining what are called nutritional categories. And this is interesting, what is now being defined as a nutritional category. Essential and non-essential vitamins, essential and non-essential minerals, nutritional substances such as HMB or hydroxymethylbutyrate and glucosamine, glandulars such as DHEA and melatonin, fiber, enzymes, as well as herbs. These are all under the category of nutritional substances. Labels must include the name and the quantity of the nutritional present, and a disclaimer must be on the label that says the FDA has not evaluated the product. I don't know about you, but to me, that's kind of a red flag. Products may include structure and function claims, and we'll discuss what some of those are. What they cannot do is claim to cure or prevent diseases. Here's an example of a supplemental facts panel. It has the name of the supplement, the serving size. If there's a standard ingredient, it has to list that. In this case, we're looking at vitamin E, and since vitamin E is an essential nutrient, there is daily value for it, so this label lists the percent daily value. But as a supplement of coenzyme Q10, you'll notice there is no percent daily value because the daily value for CoQ10 has not been established. And the label must also include other